Hi guys, welcome to Code Bashers. In this video, I will be discussing Infosys interview experience. I will be discussing DSC or you can say SCS role interview experience of Infosys. Guys, this interview happened recently only through Hack with Infi, and this interview experience is of a 2022 batch candidate. So guys, make sure that you watch this video till the end so that you can get to know the level of the questions which are getting asked and the type of the questions which can be asked from you. Guys, this is part 2 of this interview series, that is this is interview experience 2 that I will be sharing in this video. If you haven't watched the part 1, that is interview experience 1 of this of Infosys, so make sure that after watching this video you watch that video also. I will give you the link in the description box. And guys, if you're new to this channel, make sure that you subscribe it as well as join my Telegram group also. The link of the Telegram group is again given in the description box. So guys, now let's start this video, and before starting the video, please hit the like button as well as the subscribe button for this channel. Okay, so the date of the interview was 2nd July 2021. The branch of my friend was IT. Duration of the interview was 40 minutes, and this interview happened through Hack with Infi, and he is a 2022 batch candidate. Okay, so the first question that was asked from is tell me about yourself. Guys, in previous video also I have told you that this will be the most important questions as well as the most common question that will be asked from you. So guys, make sure that you only tell those things in tell me about yourself in which you are comfortable in. Do not mention any skill in which you are not comfortable in, because the question can be asked from this tell me about yourself question. So I hope I have made my point clear, and you will now prepare your best tell me about yourself. Now the next question was, why do we need data structures? Okay, so there can be multiple answers, but you can say that we need data structures to store data efficiently. Data structure provides the right way to organize information. We have different types of data structure like linked list, arrays, stack, queues, trees. So they have their own application. So in certain data structure the searching time is less. In certain data structure the other operations are less consuming, like in hash map there is a searching operation of O1 only. In trees there are searching function is mostly of log n if there are binary search trees. So I hope this thing is clear to you. This you can easily explain to the interviewer that why do we need data structure and what are the why do we need different types of data structures. Why can't everything be performed with only single data structure? Okay. Now the third question was, what is the difference between merge sort and quick sort? Guys, if you are giving the SCS interview, you must prepare all the sorting algorithms, because there can be theory questions that can be asked from them, as well as you can be asked to implement the sorting technique. So I hope this thing is clear to you. So the difference between merge sort and quick sort. So first of all, quick sort, the splitting of an array of elements in any ratio, not necessarily divided into half. So this is quick sort. That is, we all know that these both techniques are divide and conquer technique, in which the array can be divided. So in quick sort, it is not necessary that array will be divided in half parts only. It can be at one side there can be n minus 1 elements, and at one side there can be one element also. But in merge sort, the array will always be divided into two parts, two equal parts. That is, one half on the one side and second half on the other side. So first point of difference was that. Now the worst case complexity of quick sort is O of n square. Why it is O of n square? Again, I have already told you that it can be divided into that one half is n minus 1 elements and second half is one element only. So it only becomes n square in worst time complexity. But in merge sort always the array is divided into two parts. Therefore the worst case complexity is O of n log n. Now the third point is, it works well on smaller array. That is, if your data structure is small in size, then it will work. Quick sort will be much better choice than merge sort. Otherwise, if you have any type of data, merge sort will be fine. If you use you use it in any type of data. So as one problem with merge sort is that you need an extra array, but quick sort do it in place. So this is one thing that you have to notice, that merge sort in terms of space complexity is more expensive than quick sort in terms of space complexity, but in terms of time complexity, merge sort is better than quick sort. So I hope this thing is clear to you. Now the next question is implement selection sort. As I have told you earlier also, that different sorting techniques can be asked by the interviewer to implement. So what they do, they simply ask you to share the screen. You may be asked to write the code on the notepad, or you might be asked to write an exact code, syntax free code in the editor, and they will make you run through the test cases. So my friend was asked implement selection sort. So this is the question of this is the code of selection sort for your reference, so you can take a screenshot of it. Okay, now the next question was, write a code for finding nth Fibonacci number. Guys, you are giving a SCS role interview. Writing codes is very common in these type of interviews, but the level of the questions are average only. They are a bit hard in PP role, but in SCS they are generally below average only. So if you know a little bit of coding also, then also you can easily code these numbers. So write a code for finding nth Fibonacci number. So I hope those of you who know coding, they know Fibonacci number, and the code of that is very easy. So again, this is the code for your reference. You can simply take the screenshot and practice it later. Okay. Now the next question is from DBMS, that is, what is normalization? Now normalization is a term in database which is used to remove redundancy in data. It increases the speed of fetching data and makes data more efficient. Now what is its meaning? See, what is redundancy? See, redundancy in data means repetition of data in one or more tables. See, there can be two or more tables, and there can be a data which is present in one table also, and that same data is present in second table also. Or it might be the case that in one table only there might be a case where all the n-1 values of columns are same, but the values of two rows differ by one column only. So in that particular case, our data becomes redundant. It means that there is large amount of data, the speed of fetching of the data decreases, and it makes searching algorithms take more time in finding a particular piece of row. So therefore normalization is done so that we can reduce the size of the data as well as make it efficient and fast for searching. So I hope this thing is clear to you. Now next is name different types of normalization. So from my friend, only names of the types of normalizations was asked, but from you the definition of these particular normal forms can be asked also. So make sure that you prepare these normal forms also. All the normal forms are very simple. You will easily understand by simply reading the definition of them. Now there is 1NF, there is 2NF, then is 3NF, and then is BCNF. Now BCNF is the highest form of normalization that is present. Okay. Now the next question was again from DBMS only. Explain different types of joins in DBMS. So guys, there are quite large amount of joins that are present in DBMS, but there are around 4 to 5 main joins only that you can explain in an interview. So first you can explain the inner join. So what is an inner join? See, first of all, what is a join? Join is used to fetch the data combining two or more tables. So inner join. Now inner join, what does inner join do? It takes two tables and it will only return the common rows in both the tables. It will only return those rows which are common in both the table. That is the simple definition of inner join. Now what is left join? See, understand it using the Venn diagram. See, what is left join? See, this is table 1 is left table 2 is right table. Now left join what will left join return? It will return all the rows which are common in table 1 as well as table 2. It will return those rows, but it will in addition of that, it will also return all the rows which are present in left table but that are not present in right table. So you can see the difference by inner join and left join also. See, this part of inner join and this part of left join is same, that this will return the common rows which is present in table 1 and table 2, and it will also return those rows which are present in left table but are not present in right table. Now similar to left join is the right join. It will return the common rows which are present in table 1 and table 2, plus it will return the rows which are present in right table but are not present in the left table. Okay. Now what is full outer join? If we'll combine left join with right join, then we come across full outer join. What does full outer join returns? It will return all the rows which are common in both table 1 and table 2, plus it will return all the rows which are present in table 1 but not in table 2, plus it will return all the rows which are present in table 2 but are not present in table 1. So I hope using this Venn diagram the definition of all the joins are clear to you. So there is one or two more joins also. There is self join also, and there is, you can say, equi join also. So you can study about those joins as well. So I hope this question is clear to you, and how you can explain to the interviewer. You can simply explain using the Venn diagram only to the interviewer. It will make things easier. Now the next question was explain software development life cycle. So software development life cycle includes these all things. First is planning, then is defining that how we have to execute, then is designing. On the basis of defining, the designing is done, and then is building. This includes building a prototype. Then is testing. Testing involves unit testing, then a particular phase testing. This all things are covered in testing, and then there is a final deployment. So these are all the stages which are present in SDLC. I have just given you the diagram. You can go in detail by reading every definition of every stage: planning, defining, designing, etc. So you can simply explain to the interviewer by giving the definition of all these stages. Okay. Now the next question was explain about your project. Guys, again this is the most common question that will be asked to you, that will be definitely asked to you, that explain the project that you have written in the that you have mentioned in the resume. So you have to explain every detail about that project, that what all technologies you have used, what all things your project does. So you have to explain your project in around 30 to 40 seconds to the interviewer. Then he will further ask questions on project only, that can be challenges you faced, what was, how you overcome that, what is the future scope. These are all questions that the interviewer can ask you from related to project. Now next point is, what was your motivation behind it. So this question was also asked from my friend, that what was the motivation behind your project. So guys, make sure that you have any motivation behind the project also. You can say the future scope, or you can say what is going around today, that's that what inspired me to make this project. So you can come up with some type of that type of answer. So that is dependent on you only, that how you will tackle this particular question. Now next thing is, see one thing more, see explain about your project. There can be questions from your technology also that you have used in the project. Like if you have used ML, there can be questions on ML. If you have used Android, there can be the question from Android, Java, or something else. So make sure that you know the knowledge, you have the knowledge of the technology that you are using in the project. Okay. So the next question was, how can you say that you are a team player. So guys, I think my friend had mentioned it in a resume, or or the interviewer simply asked him that how can you say that you are a team player. Because if we want to work in any company, we have to be a team player, because all the works are done in team only. There is no individual work that can be done in a company. So he just simply asked him that how can you say that you are a team player. So guys, we are freshers, we have not encountered such big problems where we have to work in teams. So for you guys, the simple example can be that you have participated in an hackathon, and there you built a project, and that project was a built-in team. So you can come up with this particular scenario and describe it in detail. Okay. So next thing is, this was the last question that the interviewer asked him, that why Infosys. So guys, if you are giving the interview of any company, this question will definitely come to you, that why Infosys, why TCS, why Amazon, why something, why XYZ company. So you can answer it in such a way that it have good projects. I am a fresher and I would like to start with this big company. I think Infosys is the second largest IT company in India. So I think I'm not sure, but you can say it like this. And you should have at least little bit understanding of what does a company do and on what technologies company work on before giving the interview, so that you can tell some things in this particular question. So as these are all the 13 questions, these are the main questions that were asked from my friend. I hope you liked the video and you are getting the level of the questions which are getting asked from the persons. So make sure that if you haven't given the interview till now, please watch these videos and get an idea that how you have to present your answer to the interviewer. So guys, this was it for this video. Thank you for watching the video. Please hit the like button, subscribe button, as please join my Telegram group also. Thank you for watching this video.